Stool is pretty funny. Stool is a myconid sprout, basically like a mushroom, and he was captured by Sereth. So, because he was with Sereth, guess what? He gets captured too. So not only was he captured once, he was captured twice, and he wants to return back to his home, which is the Neverlight Grove. He talks about just he doesn't speak common, but Sereth he basically will the few times that Sereth has said something, he talks about this stupid this stupid stool, the stupid sprout that wants to go back to the Neverlight Grove. He wanted to keep him as like a mantelpiece. And then last but not least, there is Topsy and there is Turvy. And Topsy and Turvy, here they are, quite an interesting pair, and they are twin deep gnomes or Smirfnevlin, and they're both brothers, and they are from Blingenstone, and Blingenstone is in the Underdark. Blingenstone. No. And they were basically captured by the Drow while gathering mushrooms in the tunnels near their home. Now Topsy has a stringy mop of white hair, while Turvy only has a few tufts of hair actually atop his head, which he's pretty much otherwise bald. Topsy is far more the more social of the two, and Turvy constantly mumbles and mutters darkly, with Topsy repeating or translating what her brother says. All right. So those are the other captives that have, you guys have a motley crew going here, Total of 15 of you. So what do you guys think? You guys are basically all in like a chain gang, and you all have been basically cleaning up the outskirts, doing a little bit of mining, and several of the drows are, keeping an eye on you. Heavy guard, but they're away. They know that you're not going to get very far if you try to run. And plus, there's other foul, menacing creatures of the Underdark, so they're really not too worried about you guys running right now. So what are you guys doing? You guys are sort of, lying up against the wall. Everybody's kind of sitting down, relaxing, having some water after working about 12 hours, and this is the first time that you've been able to stop.
How many guards are there around us?
There are a total of 2, but there's about another 12 guards around. But all of the prisoners are with you as well, so and all of the other prisoners, they're kind of mingling about too.
Are the 2 guards that are close, are they near enough to hear us if we were start talking amongst ourselves?
No, you don't think so. Now they're probably about 20 feet from you. I mean, they keep glancing over towards everyone to make sure that they're there, that you guys are there, and they're heavily armored. I mean, they are definitely heavily armored.
Are these guards the ones that come and get us out of our cell, or are these just like pathway guards? They don't have the keys or anything like that.
Yeah, these are the guys that came and got you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then there's other guards that are patrolling. Every couple minutes or so, a couple other drow come by in packs of 2 and packs of 3. And usually you guys aren't. Usually you guys are in packs of 2 or 3 when you're working, but this is like a special occasion to where they kind of have everybody together. And you guys have just a couple minutes left, and then you're going to be basically put back into your cells for another night.
And we've been together for do we pretty much kind of know about each other?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, we've talked about it to each other. Okay.
Yeah, from what you've tried to talk to the others, a lot of the other captors, the captives, they're not they don't speak common. Most of them speak undercommon. So any of you who speak undercommon, I think Kara, your character speaks undercommon.
Yeah.
So you would be able to communicate pretty freely with all of the others. Now, for your items, I will say this. Because they usually do a lot of frequent pat downs and stuff, especially when you guys are out on work duty. All of your special little items are back in the cell and back in that special little hiding place that you guys just don't want to take that chance. You don't want to be fed to any of the gray oozes or the other giant spiders that are lingering around the Underdark.
Do we know where they're keeping our stuff?
Give me a. I'll tell you what. Give me a streetwise check. I'll let you. Well, I don't think there's any. Is there? I can't remember.
I think it's
if there's-
investigation.
Yeah,
I guess
it
it'd
is.
be maybe.
I think it would be. I'm used to 4E, so I think it would be investigation. Let me. Or maybe it might be. Let's
Or
see.
perception.
Yeah. In fact, why don't you give me a? I'll say just go ahead and give me a perception check. And anytime you want to do any kind of perception check, just go to the second tab, skills, and just hit the little. You can double click on the die, or you can drag it and just drop it into the chat box, and it'll do that. Why don't everyone give me a perception check? Ooh, see a 1. Well, we'll say that's Edith and Brother Echo and Edith. You guys have actually heard several of the guards talking about an armory. So you know that there's probably an armory somewhere here in Velkenvelv.
Dave, let me ask you a question. On that map, the number 11, is that where our cells are, or is that where we are
That's
now?
that's where the cell is. Yeah, you
Okay.
guys are just in another area of Velkenvelv.
Okay.
Basically,
okay.
just digging out another tunnel. It looks like they're kind of expanding a little bit, Al, to where they're building another cell, basically, and that's basically what you guys are doing.
Okay, let me ask you this also. The cell that we stay in at night, is it like a big room where all of us are in it, or do we have like individual cells where we're all locked up? Or like two
it's
to
sort
a
of
bunk kind of
it's
thing?
like a community thing, yeah. But then
Okay.
you're even restrained that much more in your little area.
Okay. Oh, we're like shackled to our beds or something?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what you guys have the net collar for and all that good stuff.
Okay.
How are we shackled now? Are we shackled to each other in
Oh, yeah.
a way, or just?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
no.
got a couple feet of chain, as a distance between one another. Righteous Hero, thank you very much for the follow, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks to all of you guys for the follows. I appreciate it. I try to read the chat as much as I can, but seeing that I'm dungeon
All right,
mastering,
guys, we need to.
I'm trying to do as much as
While
I
the
can.
guards are far enough
pay
away they
attention
can't
to
hear
the
us, we
game.
need to maybe see if we
Wolvish,
can't work out a
Tactical,
plan
Nexum,
on how we can
Halfment,
get out of here, because I really
Droops,
don't
Phoenix.
feel like being
Thanks, guys.
sold
for all the
off as a
follows.
slave.
Appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
Well, I agree with that.
Break these chains and get the hell out of here.
Toa Coder.
Has anybody found a way to get these chains off?
Not I.
Yeah, there's a. You do
They're
find
not
out.
dwarven,
Yeah,
uh,
the shield
so-
bearer, she actually tells you that she's counted anywhere between 17 to 19 of these drows. So Eldith, the female shield dwarf, she said that one of the, you can actually communicate with her. She speaks common, and she's counted 19 drow between 17 and 19 Drow at the outpost. And that's including, Ilvara and her 2 henchmen that are Shore and Jorlin as well. And then there's you've seen another female Drow walking around, probably a priestess. Huge, definitely a worshiper of Loth, and you can see the huge. The webbing type of regalia that she's wearing and whatnot. So you can tell that there's a priestess, and then there's a dozen Quaggoths with a number of giant spiders. Sometimes you can see the Drow, with a sort of like walking the spiders as they're sort of like in a sort of like with a I guess want to say it's sort of like a dog collar or a leash where they're leading him around on like patrol duties and whatnot.
Does Sereth the Drow, does he speak common?
You're not too sure. Now Kara heard him talking about the little Myconid that he had stolen, he had taken prisoner, but he doesn't say too much. But whatever he has said has been in Undercommon. But I don't think anybody else speaks Undercommon, do they?
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think I can speak with the gnomes, but that's about the only thing.
The Smith Neblin.
Yeah.
I can speak Goblin if anybody can speak that.
I can speak Orcish, so I can speak to Want.
Runt.
Yeah. It was great. You guys nailed that. Nailed that right off the bat. That was good.
Yeah. It just sounds orcish,
Yeah, and
Runt.
throughout the last 10 days, there's some other things that you've found out about Velkenvelv. And especially when you guys are in your cells, there's always 2 or 3 of these Drow guards that are watching the slave pen that you're in. And it's basically from a hanging guard tower, across the rope bridge that is suspended from the ceiling. Now, you guys know about, you've been told, especially with the ones that can cast magic. I believe it is Morvian. I think you're the bard, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been told that your magic won't be it'll be nullified because of all of the arcanic runes and symbols. Basically, they're anti-magic runes that are on the wall. So it's pretty much anywhere that you work. It seems like they prepare all of the areas where you're going with all of these symbols and runes, so you can't use any type of magic.
Dicks.
Yeah, and remember I mentioned Dix, the one Drow that has scars on half of his face. Well, that's Jorlin, and that's Jorlon, and usually you can see him using a wand that basically shoots globs of sticky material, and sometimes he'll as he's leading you somewhere, take his wand and kind of trap like an insect or a rat. So it's actually a pretty cool little item, and you've noticed that on him. Now, as for Jorlin, his injuries, I don't know who asked him about his injuries or whatnot, but he just says that it happened in a battle, and the same will happen to you if you continue to ask questions.
What was the other henchman's name?
One is Jorlin,
Yeah, do we know that?
and the other one is Shore, Shoor. Shore,
Thank you.
Shore, however you would like to say that. And he is also a dark elf.
Do we know already about each other's scavenges, or is there one like community hiding hole thing? Or?
Do you know? I mean, have you shown anyone yet? I don't know. Then I guess not. I guess nobody would. I guess
guess not.
nobody would
Okay.
know about each other's little trinkets that you have discovered over the last 10 days.
I'm sure of everybody. I'm unsure of everybody's intentions. So I don't know if somebody wants to turn me in for having something. So I have not shown anybody till the right time.
No.
I wasn't sure if we'd formed any bonds or anything over the 10 days we've been here.
Oh, thank you for the kind words, Akim. Thank you.
Well,
so
now's a good
much.
time to do it
I'm
because you
still
did ask,
learning, man.
like you did
Still
bring
learning.
up that we we need to do something. So
Thank
now
you.
Yeah.
I think now we can start talking to each other about that.
I'm pretty sure Kara has been very open about her displeasure of the situation, so if anyone, I mean, she would talk to anyone who would talk to her, basically. So
Where in our where we're put for the night, like in our are we like in cages? Are we all in a communal area?
Yeah, you're sort of like in a communal cell, and then within your communal cell, you're actually restricted to the space that you're in because of the net collars that basically are keeping you bound to your area.
Right.
You know, sort of like
Okay.
like a stake in the ground with a dog. You know, unfortunately. So, over the next couple minutes, they basically take you guys back to your slave pen. They lead you back to the slave pen. They lock you in, and basically they tell you that get ready for a long day's work tomorrow. Also, this Drow, really gruffy voice, man. It doesn't sound like a typical Drow, and you can tell his neck has got a lot of scarring, also probably from some battle here in the Underdark, or maybe a botched raid on the surface. But he
Is that
didn't seem-
Jorlon or some other Drow?
No, just another one of the other Drow guards. Now, as for the Drow, I will go ahead and introduce these Drow to you. And yes, I even have some art for all of the Drow too. So the first is Ilvara. She is basically the commander of Velkenvelv, and this is what she looks like. Very beautiful Drow. She always has her tentacle rod, and these tentacles are always kind of slithering around. And that is Ilvara. And you can definitely tell that she is a very, very, very ambitious Drow priestess, looking to rise in the esteem of Loltha and her house. And, she takes pride of, running a very tight ship here in Velkenvelv, and she prides herself on the quality of raids that are always ran, and the quality of basically human labor that she brings back here and sells to the other subterranean cities. So that is Ilvara. Now next is Asha Vondre, and this is the other priestess that you would actually, I do not have a piece of art for her, but you could just imagine it's the same type of regalia that Ilvara's wearing. Let's see, Shore and Jorlin. I don't have any art for them, but there are some other. I'll give you some art later on down the line where I have more Drow art. In fact, let me see if I can find some Drow real quick. Actually, the art in this is just amazing. Here we go.
Dave, on the two guards
Here's,
that are watching our slave pen, can we see like a pair of keys that would actually unshackle us?
They definitely have keys. They all have. Well, they both have a ring of keys. But that's what the Drow look like. I mean, the art in this book is just amazing too.
Isn't this the same guy that did the Lost Mines? Because I got an email from him. I bought the original maps for Lost Mines, and I got an email saying the new maps are ready. So I know he at least did the maps, I think.
Oh, Yeah, he had done yeah, Belancho was his name, I think. Yeah, but the Dark Elves, great job with the, they've always done a good job.
Yeah,
D and
this
D
is really
art's
good.
always been awesome. So, but those pretty much what all of the Drow warriors look like, all in very dark blues and blacks and whatnot. Scimitars. The Drow are, let's just face it, they're arrogant. They think they're above everyone else, especially the other elves. They're very arrogant, cruel, vicious. They think you guys are nothing but, livestock. And they have, it's like with Brother Echo, basically taunting him with, shooting him with crossbows, hand crossbows, knowing that it's not going to kill him. They just basically torture their livestock.
Well, Brother Echo looks around in like the little corridor and looks at a few people and go, "Are we to live like this forever, or are we going to do something about it?"
Well, for one, I'm ready to get out of here. I don't know if any of you have thought about any kind of plan of escape or anything, but um, I've got a length of rope. If that'll help, if anybody can come up with any ideas on how we could use it to get out of here.
Well, I don't know how to get out of here, but we really need to get out of here. I cannot stay like this. My clothes are ruined.
I love it. I love it. I love
I
it.
heard something a while back about an armory. We need to get there.
I've also heard about the armory.
That must be where they're keeping all of our equipment.
That was too good.
I would
At this
sure
point-
love to get my swords back.
At this point, I don't care whose weapons it is. I want them, and I want these Drow dead.
Well, a couple of days ago, I did come into possession of and the guards can't hear us now, right?
No,
I
they,
mean,
they're across. Yeah, they're across the bridge on
Okay.
the other side of the bridge. Yeah.
All right.
They're not looking at you. What are you doing in here? No, they're not doing that.
Okay. So a couple of days ago, I came into possession of one of their spent crossbow bolts that has some of their poison on it. I don't know if how long the poison is viable once it's been applied, but that may be of some use in an escape attempt.
If not, try to stick it in their eye. That usually works.
Yeah.
Do you have good aim with that crossbow bolt? Could you throw it across the room?
I don't know if I'd be able to throw it with enough force to penetrate, but I might be able to sneak up to something and stick it in its neck.
You said how many of them come and get us when it's time to start our work?
Usually a couple. Usually a
So it's
couple.
two or
Yeah,
three?
three.
Okay.
And then you also notice that the Drow, they're just like you. They do get tired, and there are guard changes as well. So they basically switch guards about every 8 hours or so. But no, you don't get 8-hour shifts. You get to break rocks, or you get to work for 12 hours at a time. If not, that's on the minimum.
The reason I'm asking that your aim with your bolt is because I also acquired one while I was being target practice for them.
One of those
And-
Drows is pretty clumsy with his bolts, wouldn't you think?
Needs glasses.
They
Well,
do take very good care of their dreadlocks, though.
right. So if you guys each have a bolt, I have a rope. If there's three of them that come in to get us in the morning, I say we ambush them, and as soon as we're all out of our chains, as soon as they got all the keys off, I say that's when we go after them, and each one of you sticks them with a bolt, and I'll grab the other one with my rope. See if we can't get them under control and keep them from talking. Hopefully it's fast-acting poison.
From experience, I'm pretty sure it is.
I was going to say we have somebody here that that'll know firsthand.
That or we can just get those guys over here and take them out now.
PRJR, thank you very much for the follow. PRJR 815, thank you.
Well, he said that there was the two. There was
Thanks
the two
everybody
that was
for
getting
following.
us,
I appreciate
but
it.
he said there's also. We saw about 12 more around because we're
Acton
coming
as
from the
well.
work area, right, and heading back towards.
Yeah, you guys
our,
are already into the. You guys are already back into your slave pen. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing about getting them now is it looks like we're all chained to our little individual areas.
Thank you,
We'd have
Casper.
to have them
Appreciate it,
come in
Casper.
and unlock us before we could do anything. I don't know if it would be better to wait until we're all unchained and in line for our work duties and then attack.
We have several strong people here. These are not dwarven quality. We could try to break them.
We have to be real quiet about it. We don't want them to hear.
Or we can try to sneak out of them.
Hey, I mean, you can also try to conversate with the other captives as well.
Are those bolts you have small enough to pick the lock?
The bolt? No, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be small enough to try to. I mean, you could try to jam it in there to break it. I mean, you could probably do that, but I mean, it's not a fine enough bolt to where you're going to be able to use it like as a thieves' tool or something. That just wouldn't work. I'll just make that call now. Bolt is just too big, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're hand crossbows, so I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're a little bit smaller, but yeah, they'd definitely still be a little bit too big. Actually, a lot too big. So.
All right.
Kira will definitely switch to undercommon and ask like around to the others, like, do any of you want to get out of here? Do you have a plan?
Oh, of course. You know, all of them. They definitely want to get out of there. There's not one of the other prisoners that does not want to get out. They all definitely want to get out. I mean, even Sareth, even though he accepts his fate, and even he wants to get out.
Would you be willing to act if we started something?
Oh, you know, they'd all would be willing to conspire. You know, it's like Eldith, she had said, there's only about 19 of them, but you know, Drow are pretty fierce warriors, so it's not like it's going to be a home run if you try to break out of here, and it's just going to be super easy. You guys all know that these Drows are really tough warriors, but Eldith, she's counted between 17 and 19 of them. So who are you communicating in Undercommon with, Kara?
I think I'm just like talking to whoever's closest to me or whoever hears me. I want to get as many people as possible aboard. So I think, and I think she would expect people to help, like especially when she asks them to.
Yeah, it's actually Sareth. He actually speaks the most now than what he has spoken. He's pissed off because he thinks he's been false imprisoned, and basically he tells you that he was accused of murdering a fellow Drow warrior, supposedly from some fit of rage or madness that he was suffering from. But he doesn't remember any of it. You know, he wants to believe that he was, found guilty the correct way, but he just doesn't know. He doesn't know if someone's trying to set him up, discredit him. You know, he just doesn't know. But he's being sent back to Menzen Berenzin as a sacrifice to Lolth, and he's basically going to be shown as an example to others, and he just really he just doesn't know, but he's willing to accept it though. But he said he would definitely try to get out of here.
So if you feel like you've been wrongly accused of killing Drows, are you okay with the killing one now?
if I can get out of here, I will kill one. And I will know that I killed one of those with my bare hands.